Hey everyone, we'll be starting up in a minute. In the meantime, enjoy some King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard as usual.
Much
Hello, this is Nate. This is Nate Flies. This is my accountability stream to make sure I keep practicing Flight Simulator so I can get on VATSIM. That's what the title says. You're listening to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Sad Pilot. And speaking of, there's a little bit of sad news today in my neck of the woods with Louisville. We'll talk about that a little later. But yeah, today I am doing a IRL vacation. I just went on from Indy to Denver to Tucson and then back around again. So yeah, so I usually like to kind of replicate my flights. It's always fun. The winds are different today, but that'll be okay. But in any case, welcome. Get you some sound. Airplane sounds. That's what we're here for. All right. Yeah, so here we are in X-plane at Indianapolis, Kilo India, November Delta, and it is a nice but windy day out. I'm not going to be able to do my exact route from the vacation. There's some weird artifacts in the sky there. Still sort of tweaking my X-plane, but yeah. So it's too bad because it was a kind of a. I mean, this is the one thing weird about, I don't know why I like this kind of stuff, but we had this kind of a nice big circle approach, departure at Indy, and it was just kind of very relaxing and chill. And if you check out on the YouTube channel, I uploaded a video of it. It turned out really pretty, and then when we do a big kind of 30-degree bank to head toward the south, it's just nice. It's one of those weird things. I don't know why I like about flying. Whenever we 30-degree bank, there's something magic in a 30-degree bank. So yeah, so I'm gonna set up this flight, and we'll get on our way to Denver. And if I have time, I'll do the next step into Tucson. But I actually don't think I will have time. We shall see. But in any case, let's sort of get some stuff happening here. We can turn on the seat belts, get some heat going. Leave those off for now. We're going to get the APU going. Set that up in a sec. Let me just start the APU. And plug in some of our basic info. I'm going to go through this stuff kind of quickly because I figure... well, actually, for me watching back these streams, it's been super helpful being in flight, but I'm spending too much time on the setup. So let me do this. Let's check what's the elevation in Denver. Should be a mile high, shouldn't it? Yep, about 5,300 feet. $53.50. All right, there we go. I'm going to turn anti-collision on since the APU is going. We should see and hear the APU going up. So when I flew out, it was a Southwest. It was this livery, or close enough, and was actually a 737-700. So a sort of short little guy. I'm doing the 800, and then there was it was kind of interesting for the little hop. It was a Max 8 from Denver into Tucson, and yeah, it's one of those kind of flights where you're basically going over nothing America, and then once you hit Colorado, you start seeing interesting America start popping back up. No offense, Middle America and Midwest. It's where I live. That's just very flat, and there's lots of fields. But Yeah, so it's always cool. I love flying over the mountains. I love flying out west, which which I tend to do more when I'm just having fun in the stream. I'm usually out west, but I kind of set up as my home base, kind of in the Midwest. Um, Maybe because there are no mountains, so it's harder for me to crash into things, even though I don't think I will. Anyway, APU's on, so that's good. Um, let's go ahead. I haven't done any of my sort of prep yet. I can show you on the charts though what we're doing today. Close the OFP. So yeah, we're just flying out of Indianapolis and flying over to Denver, and just kind of this, sort of laterally, and yeah. So that's our kind of simple route today, and we'll vector ourselves around. Downtown is around here somewhere, so maybe we'll do a nice big vector around, take a little peek at downtown Denver. Denver, really, really, really cool town too. I wish I could have had some time there, but I like Tucson as well. Anywhere out west, I'm a big fan of. So this is what we're doing today. All right, well, we'll have to see if they're not using runway 07 anymore. We'll start with that, but maybe we won't plug it in. But in any case, that's what we're up to today for our flight plan. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the OFP, and I will start setting us up. Oops. Okay, so I'll set up in my wing down here. I already did our position, and I'm going to do the route now. So we are kind. We're going to Kilo Delta Echo November, and I am Southwest 462 November. Got that. Departures, arrivals. So the departure out of Indy is always pretty much just this Rocky 1 vectors. Let's see if I've got any. Look at the actual flight plan for the routing. Even. Okay, so it wants this SPI transition is one of the, I think that's one of the VORs. And we are 23 right today. The other day when we did 05 left, and yeah, it was, we went up and did kind of a big bank around, and that was fun. Activate. Oh, my execute button works again, so that's very nice. Go Zebo. Oh, let's see something else here. Ah, the plan button works. Yes. Okay, so a lot of good stuff happening today. Hopefully it'll be a good flight for us then. Yeah, on the last streams I was messing around. I had got the new EFIS panel, and I was having some weird issues with it not going into plan mode, and also with it not, I wasn't getting like my execute button up. We had a lot of lag here, so hopefully that kind of stuff is solved. That would be fantastic. All right, so I'm gonna quickly look at our legs page here. Yep, SPI. Rocky Archer, if we look. I'll plug some of these in. Yeah, we'll be heading to this spinner VOR, so I'll probably plug that in, and this, I believe my initial routing is sort of going to take me to this Terre Haute. You can read that here and watch our little. So yeah, I'll program in some VOR stations, which we don't usually get to do here. Although these are the ILS. So yeah, so there's going to be our takeoff, and we'll do that as we go. But let me set up the aircraft still here. Init ref. I'm just going to grab the values from Zebo, which I've already plugged in. It looks like our reserve fuel today is cost index is 17 today. gas, and we're going up to 370. 370. Did I see? No, 340. Hey, the wind's up there, and I'm getting all this from my operational flight plan here. So, our average winds. It's at and our temperatures up there are at top of climb like minus. Oh wow, we get up there quick. All right, so like minus. Wait, what is that in? Please. This is something I'm gonna have to ask one of my people about. I'm not sure why. I know in the old mod, maybe it's just, do I have the okay, I have the right FMC in. Never quite sure why we get a Fahrenheit reading there. Can I do a slash? So I have to do I need to, that's something I just okay, I am gonna also do the I'll download the weather data. I'm gonna go ahead to here and see what our takeoff performance looks like. The Zebo calculator doesn't work, but I'll use the sim brief, use the sim brief to help us out here. It says select temp is 54, and the outside temp today in Indy is, look at our airport, take a look at our weather, and as you can see, the here's our METAR today. It's windy. Luckily, we're taking off right into it. And there's our altimeter, 2996. That's that real. Have it handy. And it is 19 degrees outside. Okay, what is sim brief likes for us today? Just alright, just a regular select temp takeoff, climb 2, that works for me because we're just going to be climbing. Flaps 5 takeoff, get center gravity from the Zebo, and Zebo likes 143, 145, 148. Actually, that is sim brief is always a little bit higher, and actually I think it's because of the weight too. So is not, there's no like, the Zebo profile for whatever reason doesn't really match up for me. But yeah, I like this. This looks like expected. So I am going to go ahead here and kind of configure my MCP panel, and then I'll plug in our routing and check that out. But if we want to look at our airport info, we are taking off on 23 right, so that's 230, 230. I'll plug that in for now, but I'm probably going to punch in some, I know at least one of our outbound courses is 230. And for one of these, I'll use a VOR, I think. Just for some situational awareness. 0. So according to our takeoff charts, for 23, so it says climb on heading 230. So we will do what it says. Okay, climbing on heading 230 to about 2.6 DME from Uzik. Then on 230 or 215, 30215, maintain 5,000. Since, I like to sightsee, I'll probably just get up to 5,000. We'll we'll pretend we have to just maintain for a while. Okay, MCP panel looking good. Let's go flight directors on. I'm just going to be doing today a since we're flying heading. Let me set my V2 speed 148. Okay, so I like what I'm seeing up here. Let's get rid of the chart here. I can go ahead. I just realized I'm probably. Let's go ahead and get the APU totally going here. Get all my fuel pumps on. Get ready for check. Hey, right now. Grove on City. Oh yeah. Here. Okay, cool. Okay, so like I said, I think it'd be helpful for me today on my. So there's a couple things I could do. If I'm going 2.4, let me see if this is actually. I'm curious. One thing. Sometimes I notice I don't. Will it actually get this, or do I have to? Hulu. All right, cool. Yeah, so I'm actually just gonna plug in this DME, I think. Guess I could draw a radial out of there. Look at our map. Okay, yeah, so it actually, I do have that, one little indicator there. Oh, but it's shooting out the, that way. Okay. For some visual reference. And then I could also put in so it tends to want us. Okay, so the spinner is there. All right, this is all good. I'm gonna plug in Terre Haute on the other side. And I should be going at 240. That should help me. I am going to go into plan mode and take a gander at stuff. Oh, I just realized my whole routing isn't in yet. Well, luckily I didn't just realize, but... Okay. Oopsie. Okay, let me go back to my... plug in my routing. Doing the thing I said I wouldn't do. Taking too much time with all this setup here. Okay, here's our route. Okay, luckily not too long. So we're gonna then be taking, let's see here, Juliet 80 to Mike Charlie India, and taking Juliet 24. So Juliet, these are on the left side here, are our basically our air highways. And then what? This is a weird one. Uthi. Okay, and then the star. Do I know? You don't know. So arrival. Like I said, we don't really know what our arrival runway is going to be. I'll have to check that when we get closer. But we'll at least this clash and OC. there, and I'll at least start with this ILS, and I'll just get on final. We'll figure out where we are. Okay, let's look at our legs again here. So we're heading out. Vector. Okay, there's that VOR. So I find that I need to do the reciprocal. Like what? 050. That out. Another relevant. I guess that's the 0.6, and then I'm just sort of checking some restrictions on my charts here. Like 4, so it's about 20. Okay, cool. All right, so let's go back to the left. Okay, so we are going to be flying just vectors and Rocky. Bye. Sierra Lima. Bell Yankee Sierra. Make sure that's the price. Alright, cool. And then here is our arrival. This looks good. Okay, for now it looks good. Okay, what are we on? 109.5 seconds. For outbounds. Okay, that'll give us some more reference points. Yeah, so okay, I like how this. I'm just gonna sort of go straight out, I think. Here. Oh yeah, make sure to use them. Okay, perfecto. I like this. This is looking good. All right, so we're about ready to go here. I zoom in for me. I'm going to give my first officer here zoomed out view in the center. I just kind of like to see that for my own purposes. I don't know what he would actually want to see, or she. There you go. But I do like the legs here. I do like my N1 takeoff reference here. All right, things are feeling good. I think we can do a checklist. Ooh, I don't have my totally stripped down checklist, but either way. So CDU is set. We've got I guess I could put our acceleration, but it doesn't seem like anyone does that. Local altimeter is still 2996. Yes, 2996, and we've got, it's very gusty. Luckily, like I said, right in our face, 17 knots. We're taking off 230, so from a little bit more to the right, we'll be getting 17 knots of headwind. gusting to 26. It is windy. I can confirm. IRL. Anyway, so our mode control panel is set. Of course, is set how I want it to be. Flight director's on. V2 is set. Altitude 5,000 is set. LNAV, VNAV we're not doing yet. Set RTO. I turn my okay, let's get ready to push back here. I'll tell you what, when we pushed back the other day, well, they just kind of pushed us back like this. Man, we hauled ass out of there. We did not stop from taxi to.
All right, Captain, got the directions. Let me know through the menu when you're ready.
Rolling take back.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
Rolling push or takeoff. Let's get rid of the chocks. Get rid of the GPU. That's a better pushback. All right, things are looking good here. I like this. I like this. We got a squawk. Would have done that. I need to start just like doing some of my other stuff. So if we're taking off Indianapolis. So if I were doing.
All right. Looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Clearance. Point. I mean, it's ground. All right, so we'll always skip clearance. We'll say we're cleared to destination on the Rocky 1 departure, climb 5,000, climb maintain 5,000 until instructed, and then speed, it says on the chart, speed up to 250, so, or 250 knots, so that's what we will do. And then we'll sort of give ourselves
Welcome
some
aboard,
fake
Captain. Tow's connected, bypass pins inserted. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
So yeah, so that's kind of what our little that, but we will have requested pushback from ground. So that would be say what I'm dialed into here, and I can get 120. Okay, cool. All right, looking overhead here, everything's looking good. Packs off for takeoff. All right, cool. So I think he said we're ready. Let's release parking brake.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Light them up. All right, good. Engine. Okay. Done some. Oh jeez, he completely has been off this. Okay, well there's your problem. Slap on the wrist or get fired. You know, I don't know what's what I get fired for. All right, N2 is rising. 23% equals fuel. Probably many things I do in this sim I get fired for. I did, as usual, have a chat with my captain. Just a brief one on this. They were rushing to get ready. Actually, on all my flights. Well, something did funny on my way back that I kind of feel like a dick for doing, but It was totally a natural response. The pilot had the doors open, the cockpit doors open, and was doing the fire alarm test in the Airbus, and but it scared me, and so I just reacted. I was like, "Oh shit, fire!" But I said it just, like as kind of a joke. But I don't know. I had a hope that I didn't scare anybody. But yeah, so that was kind of funny on that flight. Tisk tisk. All right, let's add fuel. But yeah, it was just like a pilot I just had a reaction to the sound of the fire alarm test going. So I don't think you can blame me too much for that. This was my view, actually. Pretty exact on the flight.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
All right, parking brake set.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
All right, I'm going to set our trim. It's at 6. 2. 5. Alright, all good. Generators, come on. Do X. Auto, isolation valve auto, APU off. Continuous. And get our APU off. With taxi and runway lights on. And fasten.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
Alright, see you later, brother. I do like, I love all the sounds in these sims. Get to hear people talking in here. Oh wait, where are my passengers? I guess this is a downloaded one. I might not have the password. Although I thought I turned them on. Let's see. Sorry, I like this stuff too much to not do. Configure general config. Is it? I can never find where the passengers are. What is it considered? Realism. Ah, here we go. Show. Beautiful. All right. Yes. Is Rob Lowe here? Yep, here's Rob. What's up, Rob? Dodgers won. Good for you. Okay. Anyway, I'm just screwing around here. All right, let's check our controls. Make sure I haven't sat down at the sim for a long time. Let's hopefully everything's still plugged in. Okay, full up, full down, full left, full right, full left, right. Okay, everything looks to be working there. Let's do our before taxi checklist here. So our generators. Alright, generators are on. Probe heat is auto, that's fine. Anti-ice won't need. Packs are auto, isolation valve auto, engine bleeds are on, APU bleed off, APU is off. Yes. Engine start switch is continuous, start levers are idle detent. Yes. Okay. And flaps are set. Flaps 5. Yep. Flight controls are checked, ground equipment is clear. Or before taxi. Check this. Alright, so quick, I haven't done any, briefings really, but here we are. We are just gonna go Echo Romeo Bravo and go Bravo 1 full length and take off. That looks good to me. And then we'll just be flying that runway heading. I'm 244. Alrighty. Config test. Yeah, like I said, damn, in real life, man, they were hauling ass. But they like pushed us sort of out past here, almost straight out angle, and then we were going. I'm always curious who cares about that. I know someone does care, but if it's like company, is it airport specific when it comes to like speed on taxiways? That I don't actually know, but I'm like half curious because the other day, man, I felt like we were hauling ass. Like I was pulling G's on the turn. We were getting the hell out of there. Like I just did right here. Okay. Romeo. Oop. Bravo. The one thing I do remember about the flight I just took, it was a super long takeoff roll. I have the video on my YouTube channel, where I post my aviation stuff. That's as close as I've got to social media. Flying around in Discord. But yeah, I'm happy to sim today, even though I shouldn't be. I should be working, but you know. Okay, on one of my new checklists now, it's sort of part of my lineup checklist, is to get the auto throttle going. Bravo 1. Alright, well, in honor of my Southwest captain, I should do a, I mean, we were like, I feel like we were Toga. He pushed the button, like here, but let's pretend I'm gonna line up and wait here, just because I should be much more deliberate about what I'm doing. Alright, we'll pretend there's someone coming in the lane. But I already did everything. Let me do my takeoff checklist. Here before takeoff flaps. We got green light. Stabilizer trim is set, 6 units. Cabin is completely unsecure, actually, now that I just realized. I have not shut the door because I'm old school, I guess. Alright. Nope. There we go. Locked everyone out. Poor bastards. And we can go ahead and get our TCAS on. But I guess I could do some sort of fake out stuff that I need to start doing more. So if I went tower here, I would have gotten switched. And I'd say Southwest 462 November, holding short, runway 23 right. And in a second they'd give us, one thing I wanted to do is say, alright, when you're departing Indianapolis departure out west is 11905. I really want them to come out with those radio pins. That will help my life a lot, actually. Okay, so that's all complete. We're gonna go ahead and take off. I feel good. I noticed, I was watching some real life videos the other day that when they get clearance, they turn their taxi light off. I thought I heard him say it's like a reminder or something. I'm gonna have to, that's another thing I'm gonna write down here. I want to ask my flight sim bros. about. Alright. Alright, wind is still 260 at 17 knots and gusting. So, I'm going to have to my head out of my ass. But otherwise, this feels all good. Let's go for our rolling takeoff like our pilot the other day. Okay, downward pressure on the yoke. I feel some wind.
80 knots.
Something weird. Zero. Alright, thrust hold.
V1, rotate.
Okay, rotate.
Positive rate.
Ugly. Take off. Or gear up. And plug up.
$400.
Okay, heading select. Leveling off.
1,000.
Okay, let's go. VATSIM. Okay, let's go flaps up. Alright, we're flying an airplane. I'm gonna go ahead and go autopilot. Oh yeah, that's correct. Let's speed up 250. And look at us. I'm not back on the course here. Wind is blowing, it's pretty good though. Alright, I want to look outside a little. Nice. Okay. Let's pay attention. So like I said, I'm just gonna go up to 5,000 and then
1,000 to go.
so if we were I'm gonna kind of head out to that VOR, the Terre Haute VOR. Okay, alt acquired 5,000. Alt hold. Okay. We're just gonna fly out to that Terre Haute VOR station and then we'll go direct. Am I using reserve? Yeah, when we took off the other day, it was 05, and so, right, so we came up and around and did this big loop, and then ended up turning this direction. So it was kind of neat. I got to see and actually no, we go east of the airfield? Yeah, because we ended up turning back this way here. But it was nice. Okay, I'm gonna go LNAV. The rest of our routing is taking us to Tango Tango Hotel and then to Rocky. I'm gonna be above 10,000 by then. So let's say we got our clearance up to say 16. Go ahead and unload. About 7.3 nautical miles to get to Rocky. Will be up by then. Zibo, relax. Do a vertical speed. That's one of those things I want to look back and see if it's a me thing or a Evo thing. I mean, it took off 5,000 feet per minute. Feels, or yeah, 5,000 feet. That seems excessive. Empty plane. Alright, we'll go ahead, go nav, and I'm gonna get us up to our top altitude. Alright, let's do some after takeoff stuff and move here. Here. RTO. Start the switch. Off. Oh, bad boy. I didn't do my strobe lights on. Ooh. Alright, above 10,000. Some lights off. And that looks good. We'll be at the top of climate soon. We'll start the drink service in a while. A hazy day out in Indy. Alrighty, let me clear up this info. Don't need any more. But that was, helpful. Yeah, we're supposed to do an outbound. Alright, climbing. Fast, things are looking good. Yeah, I guess I missed, not missed, but because no one's telling me before, they would have said, contact Indianapolis departure 119.05. I would say 119.05. Southwest 462 November. Thank you. Go over departure. Southwest 462 November. Climbing. You're at 16,500 feet. Climbing 340. And they would tell us something. Okay, next thing to watch out for, we're coming up to 18 1,000 feet, which is our transition altitude in good old US of A. Let's see, now down here it's gonna bark at me. Standard is set. Typically you would do this there on your standby instruments, and then the co-pilot would do it too, but I have it synced. There is none. Alright, how about that view? I'm cool with mine. Here, 112. Yep, there's our next lead point. Another VOR. How about let's say we got direct. All right, thanks. Yeah, I like kind of drawing in all the stuff. It helps me out. All right, we are flying an airplane. Everything looking good. Right, everyone? Yeah. So I had this view on my way back. I had this view on my way there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe some people hate flying, traveling. Well, it was hilarious when I heard this expression, raw dogging, which I mean, I know what it means in the colloquial context, but they said guys who do it when they're flying. And yeah, I mean, this is basically that me, like these guys. I just sit here and look out the window and take some pictures when something cool comes underneath or by. But yeah, I could watch this all day, and it was really pretty out that day that I had my flight out to Denver. It was way clearer than this, and so I had pretty good visibility. It was a nice flight. All right, I'm gonna let you guys walk around. Get drink service going. Oh wait, I can make Zubo. I always forget I have all this cool stuff here. I already gave a welcome. Can I want to deliver drinks? Well, I'll just say hello.
Welcome aboard. They're going to be underway shortly for the first leg. These three wonderful flight attendants, give them your attention as we push your taxi. They're going to give you plenty of attention and ready. Enjoy the flight. We'll talk to you once you're aboard.
Alright, so we're loaded up back here. I'd like to get I have to figure out something to get this thing to populate with with more stuff. More people. I like the people. The man of the people. Alright, I'm gonna go weather. I should have probably gone weather and terrain, but we'll need terrain later when we get to Denver area out west. But we do have some cool pictures. Share. There's when I was waiting for my wife in security, little Embraer waiting to park. Tried to wave, they didn't see me. But I got here I can show you my. There's my my wing view. Yep. Yeah, there was IRL. Now let's see, I didn't catch my exact routing, but there was, I got some cool pictures along the way. So I want to see if we can find this rock quarry at some point, which looks like an old, like, ancient civilization there, but that was a cool sight from above. But this was just once we started getting over the actual mountains. But yeah, you know, real life emulates simulator life here. Yeah, so you know, I do this IRL. Here it is in the sim. I enjoy it both ways. We can look at some more pictures. Yeah, I went out to Tucson and I love it out there. I love the desert. I think I've said that before. But I was going to go to the, I did go to the Pima Air and Space Museum, which was a ton of fun. Well, let me rephrase. I had a lot of fun. My wife actually had a lot of fun too. There are some interesting exhibits, and but I mean, it was almost like, it's kind of cool because it has most of, I think, the cool stuff to look at is outside, but you know, it's Arizona hot, but the weather was really perfect, so it was hot, but it was, I should set my heading up, but we could just, you know, jump under the 747 that they had out there, or whatever it was there, and catch some shade. But it ended up being like, you know, you end up just doing kind of like, hey, the grounds must be, you know, to walk the grounds, it's like a mile loop or something like that. And so it ends up just being kind of like a nice, I was telling my wife, instead of like a wilderness hike, which we ended up doing the next day, going up to Lake Lemon, and that was beautiful. That's the cool part about the desert. You can be in like 5 different ecosystems and sub-ecosystems in one day. But anyway, at Pima, it's really cool to just kind of, you're walking around, it's nice out, the desert is out there, mountains, and actually the Air Force Base is right there, where my family works, and I kind of some funny story about that. But the A-10 Warthogs were doing maneuvers, and then some Black Hawk helicopters. I saw them take off and I could hear them for most of the time we were out there, but they were doing like some low stuff, and my sister-in-law said that it was probably the what are these dudes? They were doing like airdrops or something. I don't need that view anymore.
1,000 to go.
Alright, 1,000 to go. But yeah, Pima is really, really cool. Even if you don't really, you know, this is one of the things why I like aircraft anyway, is because it was cool being out to just walk around. You know, they have lots of different aircraft out there, and to just be, the scale of aircraft is just, you never, I mean, at least for me so far, I just don't get used to the scale of these aircraft. They're so damn big. They had a 737, a China Air. I think it was a 737-300. But then, I'll have to look at my pictures and the legend again, to see exactly what it was. But it was even cooler. They had a 787 800, I think, or 900. We'll see in the picture. That was, I guess, one of the Boeing 787 Dreamliner prototypes, and it's in the All Nippon Airway livery, which is one of my favorite liveries, especially because my wife and I are going to Japan next year. So I'm super stoked about that, and I'm gonna maybe be taking. We'll see how we want to travel to get to another part of Japan. We're flying into Tokyo, but that will just be whatever's cheapest. But then I want to go to Osaka or maybe go down south. There's some I have family actually now in Japan, and their hometown is in the way south of Japan. But sometimes flying is just the way to go. Maybe I'll I can go back and spot myself on the Haneda YouTube channel at some point. But anyway, yeah, so I mean, God, standing next to the 787, the scale it is wild. You just don't expect it, or at least I don't, because I'm not a flight guy. Or a real life guy. Yeah, here are these pictures that were cool. Yeah, this when I was at Pima, we saw these 787-8. These engines, I could not believe how big they actually are. So there's a picture I have of, I mean, I'm not that much, I'm bigger than that, don't get me wrong, but when you're standing up against these engines, they are so huge. I think when I'm standing next to it, I'm basically, about 6 foot or so, let's say, and I'm just like right up to the lip here. I mean, these things are enormous. I could not believe how big these were. Obviously, in my pictures, there's no great sense of scale here. But this was at Pima with that the Dreamliner livery, or the All Nippon Airways livery, and that was really cool. This is a good shot too. I like this one. This is, I think, my favorite shot from when we were out there. Old, I forget what these are, EC somethings. This was a big Boeing 747. My lovely wife down there, looking hot. And yeah, so this was like kind of a cool area with a bunch of, they had a bunch of old military planes kind of all along this back, but this was the commercial section. And they had the Orbis Eye Hospital. They had this thing, the Flying Guppy, which, this might have just been a total complete husk. But either way, it's neat to see like what was going on. But this thing was a crazy aircraft there at the museum. And then I got a couple artsy-fartsy pictures. This one turned out cool. These like dual prop military surveillance plane. I had a good time at Pima. It was a really cool museum. But yeah, what's actually kind of funny, I mean, it's not funny. It's kind of one of these bad coincidences, as and I kind of consider it in some ways my Louisville last night. There was a really terrible crash. A UPS MD-11. I don't know. No one really knows, I guess, what happened, but there was some sort of problem with one of the engines, and there was a major failure, and they, it basically happened, of course, in the worst phase of flight, and right when there's really nothing you could do about it, you're not fast enough. I mean, you should, in theory, be fast enough to at least keep taking off, but not when you have an exploding engine probably pulling you down or whatever happened. The reports will have to figure that out, but yeah, it was super sad because Louisville, I'm right by Louisville. I love going out to Louisville. It's it's a great town. The people are really great, and it's really sad for something like that to happen there. But it was kind of one of these weird things I was thinking of. And, if you go back and just look at some of my other YouTube videos, I'm flying in an attic of Muhammad Ali International Kilo Sierra Delta Foxtrot is Louisville's airport, and it's a major UPS hub. That's why it was, not why, but it's at least that's at least why a UPS plane was taking off from there. But where I am in the Midwest, I like flying like between Chicago and Louisville a lot, because it's like my 2 home bases, and it kind of gives me a sense of being in the Midwest, even though I don't know, it's not as you see, it's flat, not the greatest thing to fly over, but yeah, I mean, damn, that was so sad to see that. And we have some friends in Louisville, and we have acquaintances who live in our town here who are from Louisville, and so yeah, I mean, big hearts out to anyone who's involved with that. I'm just hoping they're able to figure out what happened, and that everyone that can be okay is okay. But yeah, it was just weird, and that I fly in and out of that place in the sim so much, and I bet a lot of other sim nerds do too, because it's kind of funny. One of the whole reasons I got into this thing is because I'm a so one thing I do since Louisville is close, I've gone spotting there, and I've gone to scout like spotting locations there before, and I don't have any like good camera yet, and so I'm not like a picture taker spotter. I just kind of go out there with like lunch and watch planes land all day, or kind of one time I went out there and it was dusk and it was really nice, but yeah, some of my like when I was getting this dream, like my favorite plane is the Boeing 757, and specifically in the UPS livery. And it was like when I was testing out with the when I was first testing out X-plane, there it is. There was this is flying at or when I was going up to Chicago from Louisville, but flying these Boeing 757 and the UPS, I think they're like that's why I got into flight sim in a very sort of weird way of putting it, I think, is to basically RP UPS flights out of Louisville to some of the local Midwest spots, mainly since they're all kind of shorter flights, and that's my jam is like hour and a half flights, so, or shorter. And yeah, so it was just major bummer. And the ironic thing, I guess, is that I was supposed to go. So my birthday was last week, and before I ended up scheduling this trip to go out to Tucson, our charts, let's get a little sense of where we are. Yeah, before this trip out to Tucson was planned, I was thinking about just heading down to Louisville for the weekend to do some spotting, which would have just been last week. And I had found a couple of cool spots that I was thinking of trying out, and I was just going to go with my wife and make her come with me and for a little while and have lunch. But the hotel room, I should see if I have the picture somewhere for that. Not the last time, but a few times ago when I was in Louisville, I specifically saw, I mean, just to show you some of the extent of my lameness. Let me see if I've got a picture I can send myself and share. Yeah, the last time I went out to Louisville, I had a hotel room. I knew they were landing runway 17 that day, or that weekend, because I could just tell, like, that's looked like the fairly consistent winds and stuff that we were going to be getting. Just post something to my download and show. But yeah, I got a hotel room and I told him there's, you know, there are towers, and I said I want to be on a high floor facing north, and they obliged. And yeah, so like I said, this is pretty lame, but this was out looking over Louisville. This was from my hotel room. I had a great view because the approach comes right over, kind of right by the hotel that's downtown. It's I think this was the Galt or something. It was a nice hotel, and it was just kind of a near vacation, staycation, but get out of the house kind of thing. So yeah, so I had these great views. Just, you know, I woke up, I had my coffee, and I was watching tons of UPS. And yeah, it was MD-11s coming in, and 747s, and believe it or not, like, I was like, when I did this, I was like, okay, this was pretty fun. And I love Louisville, so next time I come back, I'm going to spot locations. So I ended up going and spotting some locations the other day. Not the other day. Whenever I say the other day, that means sometime in the past. I'm really, really bad about keeping my dates and days together. So I don't know. At some point, I went to Louisville. It's not too far from me, and on the Plane Spotter website, I ended up finding some cool locations to test out, and yeah, there are some nice spots to just set up and look. So that, a week ago, what I was originally planning to do was go to Louisville last weekend and do some spotting in the evening, because that's when it's been really pretty out lately in the Midwest, and it's getting dark, but that's just tends to be when you know, UPS, or at least when a lot of the cargo planes start coming in. But yeah, it was weird. It was gonna be like my birthday present to go spot UPS planes, and then to see that the other day is just, again, it's one of those, I don't know, just weird kind of things. Odd, not even a coincidence, but just it's a small world, basically. Is the upshot I think I'm going for here. Okay, let's see, where are we? So we hit our top of climb. I'm gonna go ahead and check the progress page here. Let's see, our top of descent is in 1 hour. I forgot the chrono. I always do. One thing I'm going to have to do is figure out what the hell I am doing. Alright, so I told it originally. I'm 15 something now. Oops. Yeah, I mean, I did sit on the ground for a while, but I don't think it was enough to do the reserve fuel. Maybe, you know, I don't know. I could be putting something wrong in the OFP, but I was pretty sure you had. Final reserve plus ultimate. Block fuel 20,000. 4,000. Unless Simbrief just calculates me with such. Oh, you know what? Now I'm gonna have to check again. Now that I think about it, the sim brief is probably the profile of my plane, of the aircraft, is not probably consistent with the Zero one. I mean, I've noticed that it isn't. So I might be getting slightly off in some of my calculations just because of that. Although I didn't have my route planned in exactly yet. So anyway, but at top of descent, or when we get sort of closer, I'll look at Denver again and see what's going on there. But for now, yeah, we're just cruising. Yeah, it takes a long time to get out of the Midwest. So like this is most of the flight. But like I said, I had great visibility that day, so I could see it was just like blue, no haze at all for miles. But yeah, it's just flat nothing, as you can see. Basically, right when you're, when you kind of are getting close to Colorado, that's when all the tectonic plates do their cool thing, and you start getting really nice mountains. And I will say one of the cooler things is sometimes you fly. Where was it? When I flew, I don't know, it must have been like Chicago to LA, a flight that I did. We passed over the kind of Four Corners region, Rockies, and got really nice views. I got a couple of funny pictures from Southwest photos. So this was at Denver. I thought this was funny, kind of as we were pulling in. Had this big row of Southwest. I thought that was a pretty good shot as far as these kinds of things go. But then I was able to kind of putz around and get like the row of birds. I like this picture. But yeah, so that was in Denver, and we didn't go under the bridge in Denver on that flight, but on the next one, coming home, we went under the bridge, so I counted that as a win. Because I've sat there at the Denver airport before and watched and go and stand up on that air bridge and just look around. Yeah, and these Southwest are so, I mean, they're cool looking livery. I always wonder when I'm talking to my U.S. friends if they know, like because I'll talk to them about aviation stuff and talk about the livery. Always like the Alaska livery. This is Tucson, as you can see. Thought that was funny because it was hot. But yeah, and then there was some pictures from Pima. I have a thing for engines, so like I have us always look up the APUs and the plane dodging around, diving around, yawing around. And then I like these views. Kind of engine-y views. Moving around. Plugs page, see if this is stuff. What speeds and all that. Progress page. But yeah, so like I said, really sad about Louisville. Alright, we're gonna go flying. When are we gonna get there? In about an hour. Top of the descent. Top of the descent. About an hour and a half. Oh man, will I be able to make it? What I should do is figure out how to speed up in an X-plane. But that feels like cheating. I don't know how some of the long haulers do it. You need, well, I guess, you know, if you get the TV going. Or I think some flight simmers just, they get to cruise and just, go take a nap. Just like IRL pilot now. Although just like some IRL pilot, because if you are flying like those long haul flights, I get a suck of oxygen. On those long haul flights, you have to have more than 2 pilots a lot of times, and not on a little plane like this, but there's a nice cabin for the 3rd pilot to get some shut-eye. And then you can just have the clock somewhere. One of the other, I think it's in the A320, there's a little clock that you can set up here to ding at you after so long if you need to take a little cat nap. But that's with, you know, someone controls for the co-pilot in that case. The other thing I need to do with whatever this livery is figure out, I'm missing a texture or something for the EFB. It could just be, I'll have to look into that a little bit. It's not a big deal. Corn and soybeans. Alright, I'm gonna go grab a drink and I'll be right back. Thought I had some kind of less ugly. Going through all my stuff here. Here we go. ERB tech. There we go. Alright, I will be right back. Grab a drink. Okay, I am back. Oh, I just realized I should I was just an OBS. I can see I have to extend something by 1 minute, so I'll do that later. But, minimalist. Okay. Oh, everything's still looking good. Or icing or anything like that. On course. Yeah, the United States. Vast. One thing I am, I guess, a little jealous of my European friends. You can fly like 2 hours and be somewhere awesome. Don't get me wrong, I could fly somewhere 2 hours and be at some pretty cool places. But the US is a lot of this. A lot of this. It just takes so long to get anywhere. But I love going out west. The American Southwest, I could see myself living out there someday. So yeah, from Pima, this was a SR-71 Blackbird. Kind of an exposed part of the engine. I have a thing for kind of old art and signage. Runs in the family. We were from graphic designers and sign makers. Although this one has some suggestive themes. I will say the one thing, speaking of, I guess, Japan and torpedoes, although this was on they had a lot of aircraft that were like submarine surveillance or tracking stuff, but anyway, whatever, this squadron, they were, I guess, but they had because the Enola Gay is at Ulvar Air and Space Museum, which that is an incredible museum also. It's more comfortable, I guess. Pima is hot. It's in Arizona, you're in hangars, and bring lots of cold water. But anyway, here's a very orientalized depiction on aircraft. Lots of ladies and such. Here's some missile tubes on a Comanche helicopter, and in the back there is one of those, what is it, the Seahawk, is it called? My brother-in-law flies one of these, or used to. He's too old now. Haha. This was I like taking the head-on shots. This was I think like a Huey that they had, and yeah, engines. This was one of the big engines on the 747. Here's another angle of it. That was this guy, the Sophia Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy. Was this big, large, I don't know, again, I just like science, 747 that they had out there, and I kind of got a kick out of this because pretty much like all the flight sim people that I know are Germans, and so I thought this was funny. I shared this with them on the Discord channel that I like, and Yeah, so we can work together, even though like half the things at this exhibit were, World War II era stuff. Actually, one of the freakier things I had, I don't know if I didn't take a picture of it actually because it weirded me out too much. Was it had a Nazi V2 rocket, the whole setup. And that's a freaky one to look at. A lot of history behind those, obviously, but just one of the cool things about these museums going. I mean, I am a historian, in a manner of speaking, and so this kind of stuff interests me just on the historical level too. Yeah, I mean, I love all these old paint jobs. Again, even though I guess I'm a pacifist in a lot of ways. Fucking pacifist like Donnie. Some of these old planes and old artwork, it's like a kind of more like in the vein of enjoying classic cars. So this kind of stuff. But then here was out in Tucson. This was some kind of, I forget what aircraft this was. They had a bunch of jets out there, decommissioned from the boneyard. And this one just had a great, I love that tail. I want to get that on a t-shirt or something. Next time I go, that'll be my swag. I got a Pima hat for this trip. There's another tail. So this is awesome. They had an entire, they had a whole 787. So it was a -8 prototype. So it was probably just a husk of some kind. But yeah, that was really cool to stand next to that. There she is. Enormous aircraft. Like I said, I mean, are there any people in this one for scale? There weren't really that many people. That was the other thing that was nice. This is a pretty huge area. I mean, didn't really get a great picture of the scale. I mean, put it this way. Here's a 787. And over off to the right here is this guy. This transport aircraft was really, really cool. Again, also, when you're standing next to it, your head is not even halfway up the wheel. The moon was low all the time. This was on one of the presidential... what was this? Some kind of Boeing, probably. Anyway, it had like the Air Force One. It was, I guess, a former Air Force One, or I guess whatever plane the president is on is Air Force One. So this was just one that was used for a variety of things, including that at some point. There was this Guppy transport, artsy fartsy like double prop thing. And then they had like these huge bombers out there that were pretty impressive. This was, I forget what, I'll have to get my little piece of paper out that has all the the legend with everything on it. But yeah, this was pretty impressive. This like 6 engine, but propeller on the back. Yeah, it was cool. 36A Alpha. Oh, this is just what is this? Oh, this is Denver Tower that I took a picture of. But yeah, totally recommend Pima Air and Space Museum. That was really nice out there in Tucson. Tucson's a cool town. I guess it's considered small by the standards out there. Not for me, but it's fun being out there. It's beautiful. You can be at national parks, and within an hour you can be up at the top of the mountain, snow-peaked mountain. And actually, that's kind of what we did. The weather was beautiful. Went up to Lake Lemon. We had done hikes down in the desert before, in years past. But but the one thing I was going to say, so let me get it here. So what I really wanted to do is, that you can't anymore, but is the, in Tucson is the, Davis Monthan Air Force Base, and that's where my family works and lives. And so that's why we were out there. But there's, they have the boneyard with all the, retired, decommissioned aircraft, which before the pandemic you could go to. A boneyard are no longer available. So due to changes in USAF security, the off-site bus tours are no longer available. No plans to restart. So I knew that, but I did go on base. I have been on base before, a couple times, and at least like my, my family is I have some officers, so could go around, but still not go to the boneyard itself. So one of my family members said when she's and she'll be working her way up, she said maybe once. I said, look, you got to pull some strings for me. You pull rank around here. Surely you can requisition a Jeep or something and take me out to the boneyard. And I have historian credentials with a university. I could, well, let's say I was doing legit research because I would. And I'm writing a story about flight simulation, my flight simulation journey. Here's my YouTube channel. Look, I'm trying to make history. I don't know. But so I was joking about that, but we didn't get to go to get to do that. Plus, I try and be sensitive to my family since they work there. I don't want to be like, oh, on your day off, can we go to your office? So that I can watch, military aircraft take off. Although there are places all around the base to go spotting, and they sound like they're pretty casual about it because, they have to be. You could just be anywhere and see it, even if you are on these little turn-offs for the base. But anyway, we were kind of joking around. She said maybe once she becomes a colonel, which, she will be. She's my sister-in-law. She's a, what did I say? Like, I don't want to give away her call sign thing because it's funny, but she's the boss, put it that way. And so I have no doubt that she will be moving up in the world of the military and will be kicking people's asses. And so I'm glad about that because then hopefully she can take me to the boneyard one day if they still are stationed out there. But that's what I really wanted to do. But instead we ended up going up to Pima. And yeah, like I said, man, Pima is a really cool place. I had a great time. Yeah, so you can see there's that guppy who's some of the scale. Someone taking better pictures than I did. Yeah, they have some space stuff. I guess you could get married or hosted lunch. That looks like a plane. You can go into the cockpit of one. My wife has some funny pictures. Yeah, so here's the overhead shot of it, at least. And yeah, so you park over here. Here's the kind of main first hangar. And again, these aircraft are humongous. So does this one not even have the... all right, so this must have been even before they got that 787, because if I recall, the 787 was here. This is one of the big B-2 flying fortresses they have inside. And it's funny, they have it all advertised like this is the only air-conditioned exhibit. Or over here, there's a little museum with paintings and kind of art related to aviation. That's air-conditioned. The rest is just like some big fans. Yeah, this must be an old overhead picture because when you walk out this whole area now over here on the left, yeah, there's way more stuff out here because that's where, unless, I could be getting slightly turned around, but I thought all the commercial aircraft that I was looking at was out here. They have like the Orbis Seeing Eye Hospital, which is in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Yeah, there's that, the 787 that they have now. I'll show the video. Yeah, here's some good shots. All right, yeah, this is more looks like what it looks. But yeah, it's a long walk. But they do tram rides if you don't want to. You can see the scale of the people here. And then that was one of the Air Force ones. They have this series of presidential aircraft, and that was a kind of neat Boeing one, with some cool engines. Reminded me of like Star Wars. But yeah, so that was a fun thing to do out there. Alright, otherwise we're still just flying here. Yeah, like I said, this part, flying over this part of the U.S., there's not a ton to do. But, you know, one of the things that drew me into the hobby is just this. Even when there's not much to see, you know, to me there's still plenty to see. I mean, I don't know what it is. I love seeing the Earth from this. It's like one of my biggest draws to aviation might just be like the issue of scale in a general sense. The planes are big. You get to see things from the big perspective, as it were. And at least in the U.S., when you look around, it's a reminder of often horrible city planning. Yeah, so I have no problem being critical of the views I get from from these altitudes either. Yeah, I mean, some places it's almost like sad that when you fly over, it's just like the grid work of the United States. When it's too bad, you know, we don't have enough topography to make a difference in city planning ordinances and whatnot. I guess I didn't see what was same thing that way. Let's see. I can't show you, just a little sense of where we are. Helps. What is this for? Is this Illinois, Missouri? We can do the other map. Check out where we are. World map works out a little better. Okay, so over Missouri for a little bit longer here. And I thought we were still closer to Illinois, but no. Alright, we're coming over the nothing. This is the real nothing. But I guess we are going to go over Kansas City. But that's probably what was kind of slightly coming into view when I was zooming in out here. The next plane, you know, I'm at this rendering distance. I'm pretty not going to really get much detail. Going to be kind of one of these. Yeah, I guess here is Kansas City, Missouri, and then Kansas. Oh, I guess right. Let's see. Let's zoom out. Probably find K. Kilo Mike. Kilo Mike. Kilo. Kansas City downtown. It must be here somewhere. Little confluence. Yeah, this is the typical U.S. right below me here, like this. The cookie cutter communities, suburbs. But such is the United States flatlands. It was not as green on my flight, I'll say that. It was very brown still. Although around the well, it was kind of cool. It was almost the reverse of what's showing here. There's green, you know, around the rivers. Alright, so there's Kansas City, Missouri. Flying over, what's the next major city? Topeka. Alright, so we are going to be flying over Topeka. Check on our passengers. Rob, how you doing? Good. Yeah. That's our VIP. This lady sinking into the chair. Your twin sister is in the back. And there's another Rob Lowe somewhere. Yeah, I do like the GSX people better. Say that. Let's see. I'm gonna look at let's look at Denver. See what's going on here. Where people are landing. Arrivals 167. Alright, let's see what the weather is like. Okay, 110, 11 knots. Yeah, so we'll see what's happening once we get there. But I wonder if this does this care about? Let's see. Yeah. So we currently have 07 or 7 plugged in, but if they are landing, we get like a ATIS arrival. So the 16s and the 17s. So which would be more fun for us? I guess 16 or 17, right? Yeah, let's go 16. Yeah, 16 right is fine with me. And then we can try and... Yeah, we can exit, take this whiskey 8. We should, yeah. So we'll plan for 16 right if that's what they're arriving. 16 right, let's see if the ATIS says anything interesting. Runway 17 left, right close, runway 1 with a big 6 right, RNAV. Not available. Okay. Notice they're always doing like visual. Just like visual in the US. Parting 825. Oops. Okay, so we'll plan for well, we're offline and all that stuff, so if they're landing, I could look in real life too. What's Pilot Edge doing? Yeah, visual. Whatever you... Okay, arriving, 16 right. Yeah, so if we were on Pilot Edge, which is like the fancy VATSIM. That's you really can't screw up with them. They're like the real deal. You pay for that one. But okay, 16 right. We'll kind of plan on that. And there's, I think, still blah blah blah. Yeah. So if we want to end up doing 16 right. Everly 299. Yeah. I'm guessing this one. Yeah, because this way we can get maybe a little closer view of. Those will be nice because we can do kind of a fly by the airport and then get a little closer to the, mountains. Not really what you want to hear your pilot saying, but either way, downtown Denver is sort of in this general area. So we'll fly over that at least, and then just vector ourselves over to 16 right. So let's go to departure drivers. We'll keep our same /5. We've got this ILS. Right. And KDEN. Let us go to KDEN. Approach. Let's check our 16 right, ILS in that. Oh, I was looking at this earlier. Yeah, so this was I'm glad I asked kind of one of the IRL captains who's really cool, and answered the black box 711, 711. A great stream. That's kind of the whole reason I'm doing this. But I was always curious, like when I just need to get on VATSIM is the upshot of all this, but I'll give myself fake vectors and stuff when I'm around here, but what I wasn't sure about is that sometimes, this is a little different on this approach, like I wasn't sure if there are these, like Shred, for instance, has this mandatory at 10,000, which, makes well enough sense, etc., but like our radar fix at Jetson is 7,000 feet. One thing I was curious about, if basically, as long as there aren't obstacles under this. Now, I understand that if you're like flying on the Star and you're using this Kipper, transition or Kaylee or whatever, and just getting told to send via the approach or via the Star, blah, 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 you would keep these mandatories, but they can tell you to just, hey, if you don't have to, they'll tell you to come down so you can then just come and intercept the ILS some point earlier. So that's kind of what I'm going to do once we're coming around here. I'm not going to plug in any of these transitions actually. We'll just do our final, which I guess on this chart will be the grid. Yeah, we'll do no transition. Put on the next page. After Cliff. Our arrival again. Yeah, it's after Cliff. We want 210 at 11,000. And Vector, and then Marin Jetson. We're not doing the 7 anymore. I don't think it will it not let me? Okay. I guess it's whatever. Okay, Mervin 8,000. Mervin or Marin 8,000. Jetson. Yeah, so who do we got here? Well, Jetson. Bruise. They do make good beer in Denver. Septic Shred. Yeah, I like trying to figure out what the pop cultural references are. Alright, so that makes more sense for our arrival. Lights flash. ILS. Right. Okay, there we go. Some brief, all updated now. I've opened. Yeah, so now some briefs all updated. We're getting there. $8,000. That's it. Yeah. I'm gonna grab a right now. Give myself a center line, things like that. So, reciprocal 35. Do the kind of 3 to 20. Anything else help me out? No, I'll probably just tune the ILS. Just looking for any interesting that's worth plugging in a VOR or something. But, I guess this is good for me. This is early for all this stuff, but I guess we're getting there. Oh, 1.9. That vector list I just had. But I can. Alright, our top of descent. I guess I could give us that a little visual reminder. Doing a 40-mile range from about our top of descent. That's close enough. Okay, let's step through, look at our map, oof, and that means bustle, ash, really jerky roots. Alright, so here's what we've got. Stuff helping me. Probably 10 miles there. 5 miles. Cliff, and then Cliff vector that from there to be a 10,000. Want to be 8,000. So I'll just probably get to 8,000, kind of come in behind Marin. And yeah, what does it want me to do? So Marin, by Marin it would want me to be pretty slow. That's like 8 miles, I guess, we had away from here for now. So I've looked up. There you can see it like recalculating all of our. I could also give a note on thinking about it, but I just don't focus. Okay. Press load. Alright, loaded. To the other overlay. Yeah, so our descent winds are in, that executes, and that we adjust our stuff. So this is the other thing. I did notice when we were coming in to, when I was flying it the other day, so I always have this question that it's like, alright, well, at Clash, it wants us to be at 280 knots and between these flight levels. So that makes sense, right? So here it is. But my cost index at like 17 or whatever keeps us above 280. And so I'd noticed when we started descending the other day, at some point we leveled off and I did feel a speed up, so I'm wondering if we actually did like something like this, or what I tend to do is go into like the the cruise page or change the cost index so that I don't have to slow down as much for it all. But I'm just curious to see what the VNav actually does in this case this time. See if it feels like what it did for me. But otherwise, I'm checking out all these restrictions. And think about landing. I noticed today all the wind wing stuff is working better today. Before, when I'd go here, I'd just get a blank. And, I'll have to try that with different livery, too. I don't know if that has any... it's so hard to know what affects what in these sims. Sometimes you do absolutely nothing, it changes. But, like today, I know I updated some things. X-Plane had an update. Oh, which probably means I did download this cool livery for the, and it has a bunch of 3D objects and stuff to make it. It's the P8 Poseidon. And I was telling my military family, and they were like, "Oh yeah, they know that one." We have one person who is a in the Navy, but doesn't helicopter pilot though. I would say not anymore, too old. Or not too old, but he did his duty. And so he has a arguably a less stressful job. Hard to say. Everything in the military is kind of stressful. But anyway, more command role, let's say. But there's Boeing 737s that are the P8 Poseidons, and so they're kind of cool. I found a livery on X-Plane that has like more radar antennas and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure it said anytime X-Plane updates I have to reinstall the textures and all that stuff, so I will have to check that out now that I think about it. be a lot of nothing. This is someplace, Selena? Don't know much about it. We're just like dead middle of Kansas. This could be like the most central point in the United States or something. I should double check to see where that is. I would assume it's somewhere in Kansas. But they got an airfield here. Guess that one VOR is another one too. I guess that is somewhere Denver. Grab another drink, and I will be back in a moment. Okay, back. And I got a care package from my trip. Just some good news for Arizona. what else do you do? Well, you know, there's certain things I should like use more. I have to figure out where I set my directory. I actually don't even think I downloaded these. Yeah. Black. Oh, wait, here it comes. Oh, I did. If those are wind, I did see wind farm. Open top of map. Very easy. Yeah, see, a lot of nothing. Whoa. And then we'll be right up at the foot here. I don't remember we went to. I don't know the green key. Select slippy tiles. Explain earth textures. Indicator. Use any blah blah blah. Okay, this is more like the more like the little screen you get on your plane on the seat in front of you. How do I actually, can I ding my not quite sure if you do cabin ready. Yeah, I'm curious just what kind of sounds. Ah, okay. That's how I. I'm just dinging everybody. Yeah, I know in the Airbus add-on has the little calls up here, but I don't really know. Those, I'm not going for that much of those. But yeah, I need to, I don't think I'm like set up with SimBrief. Yeah, see, I have all my old FMS plan, so maybe it is in here somewhere. Map, charts, airport. I mean, I know this. I can, you know, bring up the charts here. And then it gives us all the frequencies. Does this have a, yeah, it does give you the live. Let me see if this is consistent with Navigraph weather for Denver. Weather, so it says KDEN 170 at 15, 170, 15, 10 to, yep, okay, so this is all, it's pulling the same kind of stuff. And then, so that's the reload. This thing will bring up the charts. I could do airport info. Go back to KDEN. Back to here. Back. Approach. pass, 16 right. Alright, so now we keep some charts up. I guess I could bring up the clash. What's that? If I kill this, okay, it totally closes it. Oh, okay, you gotta come all the way back, I see. Ah, got it. Okay. Check the Clash 5 RNAV. Yeah, so you could do stuff in the actual sim, but I often find just Navigraph, having Navigraph open does the trick for me. But we're landing 16 right. Our goal will be to take this high speed here, Delta 5, right to Whiskey Bravo, and we'll come park somewhere. All the southwest stuff, where were we? We went, I could look. I want to say we were we closer? But yeah, but that'll do the trick. Oh no, what am I? That's this little auxiliary. Oh, this is what I'm looking for. Okay, so we won't do anything that I just said. Wait. Oh, okay. That's the inset. So where's the bridge? So here's the bridge. I was in Concourse B with all the southwest stuff. So that's what we'll do. We'll take Bravo. So we're gonna be Whiskey Bravo. Whiskey Bravo. Golf. Hotel. So is that just Bravo November? Alright, so I guess it just becomes Whiskey Bravo. That's what I'm curious to see what that looks like. Aircraft units in radar required to contact appropriate concourse range control. It will be coming in here. And then we'll go golf to probably Bravo Sierra. I don't know if you go on this green line. I can check the it could just be a good boy and check the airport standard taxi routes. I guess we're coming, what does it consider us? Are we coming from the north? Well, anyway. Keep our star up. I'm going okay in this aircraft. Yep. We can't tell sometimes in X-plane which direction these switches are going. Anyway, just look at that. Oop, topography. Oh, the quarry. Okay, so we're looking for this. Is that this? See, if I was smart, I would have run the chrono, and I could have checked the time on that picture. Because that was there. if that's the time even. Yeah, but I do remember that at one point. Like, seeing actual topography coming in. I guess at some point in X-Plane I should try like these auto or the orthos to see if that does anything better. I really don't know how to use all this X-Plane stuff. Yeah, these were sweet. This is like the pod racer in the bad Star Wars movie. Okay. We are getting places. And I probably, it's too bad. I wish I could just do sim all this week, but I should be working today, but I'm not. Or at least I should be working now. I'm not now. I will be working today. All I'm doing is kicking the can down the road here. So I'll be Nightman tonight. It's Wednesday. And no sports, so baseball's over. This was a briefly, if I end up keeping this up for whatever reason, next season, by next season, my what's it called? My next New Year's resolution. So I have to be on VATSIM before the end of the year. That's happening. That was my New Year's resolution. I've been lazy and haven't done it. But I think I am ready enough for it, all considered. But so yeah, that's this year's flight sim resolution. Next year's will be it won't be too hard, but because I've already got some time in it. But I'm gonna learn the 757 better. And then I'll do all the Ray's team flights. And I can go on the road. That can be my way to keep myself flight simming. Is I'll do the team flights before when I go on the road. Or on their way back. Yeah, I wanted to check some other stuff in here. Alright, so that's the PA stuff. This is like I don't ever really have to do. I should do these checklists at some point. See how they work. I think I've heard that they're pretty decent. So I also have the EFB's exit south of Pierce. External payload. I don't know what that means. Someone had been saying something about there being a, if you did have this, it's about changing the EFB style or something, but I don't really know where that is. I don't see any. Blah blah blah. We've done all this kind of stuff. Oh, I haven't used this one yet, so I like all of them. 60, I can do without that. I'll take the 200. No smart hard. Great call out. Mirror that means. Okay. Tire blown advanced. Others. Passenger applause. Word tire. I thought they were screaming, and they might have been. Yeah, I don't mess around much with the EFB yet, but at least, the Abby tab is not bad. I should bind a key that I can just bring it up, toggle it. And then I'll have it in game here. Probably better on the FPS. Hard to say. Yeah, it does just mimic that. That's cool. Plugins that I got going here. All normal stuff. We're coming up to that 40-mile ring, and I tend to think about the descent planning. About 92 miles out. I could, one thing while we're playing with the EFB, it does have is a landing. But 16 right, dry there. Winds are 170. 15. Outside air temperature is warm, 21 degrees. UNH. Altitude is 30.24. What did I say? 424. And let's check our current gross weight is 139,000. And use current fuel times 8.7. 30 AC auto anti-ice off brakes. Let's see what auto brakes 2 does for us. All this is good. ERF. Yeah, so what's our headwind? 15 knots. Yeah, let's see. Let's run it back there. Okay, so our VREF 151. Auto brake 2. Yeah, that slows us down pretty well. 2-3, so about 2,400 meters, and the runway is 36.5. 48, almost 4,900 meters. Yeah, so that sounds good. That'll get me on that Delta 5 is what we'll be looking for. Alright, yeah, so I like this. I'll punch it in something good. So 146. I guess technically we're gonna have to go the 7 direction. Break. The Great Kansas Circles. When you're leaving Denver, there's a pretty cool spot where it's all this irrigation, but it's like had no square fields at all, just like all around. It was pretty, all these sort of round irrigation fields. To tell you the truth, I don't, you know, these are like leaching fields, I think. But I don't know what's they're processing out here. I always wonder as I'm flying over this stuff. Processing. Guess we could check. We got a scenery switcheroo here. Yeah, the one thing I want to check is I know you can download like higher quality, or at least not quality, I don't know, higher detail. So there's some mountains. Nice. Yeah. But I don't think it actually makes that much of a difference when you're at, 30-something thousand feet. Alright, about 8 minutes till top. And then things will start happening. I can get our charts up. the guy actually say when I...
Ladies and gentlemen, we have started our descent. After the signal sign back off, I'd like to ask you to please return to your seats. Buckle up for the short duration of the flight. We really appreciate you choosing to fly with Southwest this morning. Hope you've enjoyed the trip. Have a great week. Please come back and see us again real soon. God bless.
There you go. Might just be because I have like a camera hovering right here, but I will say, I guess, I mean, this is an IRL thing. In real life, the EFIS panel is kind of, I mean, I like that it's out here, but it is sort of tight squeeze. I don't really have a, I mean, I have small hands. What did I want to see? Oh, we didn't really look at our aero minimums. Okay. ILS vision. Oh well, this is what it's going to be great to have for it. God, in like the PMDG, it takes forever. One of the reasons I'll sometimes not even fly out west is because it takes so long to set your barrel. Match heading, but now I can go. Oh no, don't do that. That'll make us crash. Alright, there's 302. 3024. And then this is what I like. Go Barrow, go. Yeah, in the PMD you can only get it to go so fast, just holding and clicking. Still, this is going to take a while. I gotta go to 5 mile. Go, Barrow, go. Go, 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 go. It's still going to take like 5 minutes. Almost. At least I don't have to look. Alright, so that's going on. The look around. Mountains. Yeah, what a pain in the ass. One thing I do like about the Airbus, you can just type it in. So I think this might be one of my last Boeing flights, because I do want to see what the Airbuses are like. In X-Plane, I still haven't done that, so I got to take the sim setup down this week to do some real work, I think, and at least, you know, reclaim my desktop space back. But yeah, I do want to try the toeless, I think, that I might treat myself to. But I have kind of the same, I have all the Wing Airbus stuff, so, which I really liked for, when that first came out, it was great because I was using that for any aircraft. What did we say it was? 552. And yeah, that was fun. I worked with the ATR, with all the Airbuses, the Phoenix. Alright, Arrow set. I'm good. Figure out that one. we're coming along. Alright, top of descent is where we should be. I will set our one of our first. Wants us to be above flight level 30, but should be good. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just set it at our first day above, even though it should calculate that or maintain that restriction. Yeah, here we go. Flight level 30. Keep an eye on the weather over my other screen here. Yeah, I guess I'm curious now to see this speed up. Alright. Ascending. And the Zebo. I mean, I'm gonna trust the people who know better than me. But again, it could just be that the VNAV is a little wacky. But yeah, I know on my descent, I kind of all over the place on the speed tape. The other thing I want to ask about is I know like on the PMG I don't get this magenta bracket. I should take a quick picture of that. And let's get the smart people on there. Only that'd be nice. Go away. I will keep us on our descent. Oh. 190. Yeah, because Clash has a 2.8. Wants me at 280 knots. And I do recall, like I said, on that flight, I remember we kind of did, we must have been on instructions, because we came down, we're level, and then sped up. So I wonder if that was, I mean, we did come this route, now that I think about it. Or this arrival, this star. No, so this is there as like a recalculated restriction. I always wonder why it sort of, this VNAV always seems to stay at the top end as opposed to the bottom end. I don't really know how that would work in real life. Alright, so FMC speed. Let's see, 258. Let's see if it kicks us up to 280. Let's see what the aircraft does. Just curious. Alright, so we're going to want to be 250. 210 will be our final our up speed. Thereabouts. They'd be tired. I don't know if you're supposed to call anything out on that when it's just telling you that the auto throttle is pulling back. Pretty much in the sim, I don't really, or in real world, I don't really touch, or like when it goes into ARM, I don't really touch my actual levers until I'm kind of ready to kick out the auto brake, or auto brake, the auto thrust. Alright, so are you going to speed us up? Let's see, I'm curious. If it does. Gosh. 7 nautical miles. I'm at flight level 240. Cruise 2,000 feet. But I'm not. Close. See, that would be the weird thing. If it claims I'm still on path, internet should get this, but I feel like I need to be high. Alright, so that's interesting. It doesn't... I guess it's not speeding me up. If I have to be at 280, it hasn't sped me up. Now it probably will. Okay, so I barely made it. And I'm slowing down. So never really interesting. That's just kind of stuff I just don't know about. I'm really curious. Oh, but then, yeah, it levels me off. Now let me see if it actually does this descent. This is what I was curious about before. I'm just going to go to our next, our actual, well, I want to see if that next top of descent, if it's leveled this out. Now I'm curious if that functions and starts taking us down. That's just some feature that the recalculated top of descent, quote unquote, for the next restriction. Do you start going by yourself? Yeah. Alright, so that is like another... Okay, cool. Good to know. Let's see. I want to be at 11, so I'm gonna file that in. The VNAV seems to be working. Putting this down okay. Haven't had to drag. And we are going a little fast. If I could. But I kind of just want to let it do its thing today. Just to see, like, how slippery it is if I really do need to be on the speed brake the whole time. Because, you know, I'm speeding right now. I'm 12 knots above the 250 I'm supposed to be at here. Yeah, same speed brake. Oh, and I can say, I know, like, the speed brakes, when I did see them come out IRL, they are way slower than that. So here's where I'm curious now. Just stick 250, see if it will hang out here. Hey man, this VNAV, that's another question I'm gonna have to ask someone. I'm just curious about is the VNAV always shooting for that top? It seems like in the Zebra always shooting for that top one. Oh, it's leveling me off again. I don't really get a good smooth. This is where I'm surprised. I guess it's not just trying to. There it goes, speeding itself back up. But my next speed, I can stay 250 basically all the way till this. I guess all the way till I get to Cliff. And 210. Alright, so we will stay at 250. This works for me. Now we're descending again. We'll go ahead and just set standard now. Let it adjust. Got a little speed break. Path, on speed. Speed brakes back in. Alright, so just to give you a sense of things, we are kind of coming to this one of the main, and we're gonna sort of kick off here. Goes Roots, Rapids, Riverville, Cliff. This does sound very Denver. Yeah, see, I am over speeding. Alright, so looking at my approach, I know I need to be down at 11,000 feet, and for my fix is 7,000. So we'll just cross Cliff. I'll get us down to 7,000, and then we'll turn in, intercept the localizer whenever we're kind of at altitude. And then approach, and around wants me 210. I can just hang at my up speed by the time I get there. And then I'm gonna go for kind of a quick slowdown because I feel like excuse me, that when I shoot for like flaps 1 at 10 miles, it I don't know, too much something. Alright, so here's my 20-mile ring. All my stuff. Yeah, so I'm doing almost like these stepwise descents. I'm kind of half curious about that. That'll be another question I ask. Because in a sense, I would think that VNav, well, again, this could just be a Zebo thing with the calculations, that it would plan, well, duh, I should be giving my guy here the vertical profile. And does it have that new topic on there? Let's see. Yeah, so see, that's pretty interesting. What's this to be? Alright, there it comes. So it doesn't calculate like an even, a nice even descent. Yeah, 20 miles, something like that. And yeah, our next speed is, we don't have to be to 210 until the cliff, so we can wait. Slow down. Come in hot. Yeah, as I was saying, what I'm trying to do here is Denver, over this way. Yeah, it's cool. When we were flying in, we landed. I guess what is that? 350 the other day. One of these. Well, not that one. It's the Pro. So we must have been on a different, because we didn't came from the north before. All right, we are getting there here. Slow now. Go. Here we go, Denver. Here we go. Yeah, okay, so the other day, definitely I landed 35 left. Because I remember we just peeled off and parked. I have the video of it, actually. We can see. We weren't that far over. Yeah. Denver. Big. Yeah, so here's this runway 7, I guess. But yeah, we'll be coming all the way over here. And then I'm going to try and get us to brake by that Delta 5 and then come in and park around here. That's where all the Southwest planes were before. What can we see in Denver? Do we have any interesting sceneries? I need to try and find more just good X-plane. I mean, I don't mind the X-plane sceneries, but I'm sure someone's made some nice stuff out there. Oh, there we go. There's downtown Denver. Where is the stadium relative to here? Oh man, Colorado. This is actually, I remember that one of my favorite trips ever. Flying into Denver and then driving up to Boulder, I believe is this way. Yeah. Is that? Yeah, Boulder. Yeah, holy crap. It's so nice. Boulder. So nice. Alright. Starting to.
1,000 to go.
Alright, 1,000 to go. Alright, we'll start slowing down now. And flip. Let's see. Alright, wind isn't too bad actually. It shouldn't blow us too off course here. Drag required to get us down. Alright, so hit the brakes. It was alright. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I kind of fuck up this order sometimes. Let's see, get down to 11. Go. If I turn off VNav, I go hold to do out hold speed. Okay. Gotcha. And then I can go into I'll go heading by 3. And yeah, I'll kind of hang out here and get down to, let's say, get down to 7,000. 1,000. Do a level change. I'm gonna go ahead and have Marin next, and say 173 intercept, and execute. So what I just did there is, you can see now I just drew out the center line from our next boat. We got all kinds of mess on this page, but I know what I at least know what I'm looking at for right now. Yeah, so we'll just gonna go 7,000 and then turn base, I'll be going past Marin, so I'm gonna look around a little. Alright, so we'll be turning back in a minute. Yeah, so here we are we're descending, and we'll be looping around. Out here, not much. So we're kind of just flying a beam to our runway now, downwind. Slow descent. Okay, let's assume, let's say that we're getting our vectors to turn base. I will go ahead and turn base. Alright, let's do some approach stuff. Oh, I should have had my lights on.
1,000 to go.
Alrighty. Go ahead and go for this one here. Alright, I'm just going to turn And let's say we got to intercept this heading 115, so I'm gonna go ahead and arm the localizer. So we'll be coming in below the glide slope, but I'll pick that up once we get past Merrill. Let's just say they're asking us to slow down for traffic. Get to flaps 1 speed before we start our descent. Alright, VOR lock. Full. Okay, we are turning final. Alright, so we're 10 out. I'm going to wait till 5 to sort of start dropping us down. Speed brake is armed. Approach check the nav radio set. The brake set. Internal lights are on. Wait till everyone is passing. Develop if we miss our approach. We are failing out. Heading 218, climbing 12,000. Alright, let's line up. Runway heading 173. Alright. Like I said, I didn't want to slow down so much. I want to try and just be geared in at 5 miles. I feel like I tend to be configured quite early when, not that there's anything wrong with it, but still, we don't have to be so hasty. Yeah, these vertical profile. Just show it real quick. Well, I mean, we're gonna be bang on because we're at 7,000. Alright, I am going to go ahead and go flaps 5 now. And drop this down to flaps 5 speed. So I can go gear 15. And there's our runway, so we're doing good. We're low, but I feel the aircraft correcting. And I am watching for my approach vertical deviation time. Alright, so getting close to that 5 miles. There it is, we got the magenta coming in. Go ahead and arm approach. Okay, single channel. Flaps 15. Slow us down. Alright, glide slope captured. And heading down. Slow down, Zebo. Alright, I'll go flaps 30. So we said 144. Gonna be about 151 as I recall. I sync rate, not my fault, it's a computer. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the auto throttle. More speed. We are at VREF, but we've got like 18 knots headwind, so I'm gonna give it a little more juice. Actually needs, I noticed it's usually around pitch and power is like 60. Here we go. A little bit more. A little bit. Okay, gear down, flaps.
Approaching minimums. 2 minimums. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Oh, butt's gonna hurt on that one. All right, let's go reversers. I'm not slowing down. Let's go one more. I'm gonna have to go. Am I?
80 knots.
Alright, check. Brakes. Alright, so that went quite long. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna have to watch that one back for a number of reasons. God, I slammed the fucking hell out of that. Wait, that was where I wanted. Wait, was that? Ooh. Oh, side. Oh, I'm off the. Wasn't in the game window. All right, let's just. Poorly. All right, just stop. See what happened. Alright, bring the flaps in. What I want to see is... Oh, okay. Okay, I'm just looking at a chart to make sure I'm seeing... Okay, I did get off where I wanted, Delta 5, but I backtracked here. Yeah, no, I wasn't... I'm gonna have to look back at some of my settings. As in what I was doing, you know, not like, nothing wrong here. But I was getting really no slowdown. I'm pretty sure my spoilers were up. Maybe I wasn't on the reversers enough. Alright, we'll come and park. Do a quick little look at the replay. And what time we got? Why am I looking at that, man? So we got clearance to cross. Lights on. Yeah, I kind of always want to see the airport also. But yeah, holy crap, did I slam the hell out of that thing. Holy shit. I'm curious if I sped up a lot because I don't know, everything felt really fast right at the end. I also didn't change my vision to the end of the runway, which always helps, but okay, right, so super hard landing. Gross. Let's try. Let's see, who do we got here? I want to keep going to Bravo. Bravo Sierra. Actually, yeah, I do want Bravo November. Go hotel. Bravo November, there's hotel. Yeah. Ooh. You driving. Okay, so look at the insert. This should be Bravo Sierra. Yes. Yeah. So Bravo. I wonder how they do this. This one I'm not too sure about. This would be, I think, the green line. And this is where they push you. Like when I was seeing when they did pushbacks, they just push you straight out. Then you kind of like, they would do this big crossover to this. This must be the actual Bravo Sierra. Go turn around and look at that. Yeah, watch out, fellas. But anyway, one of those pictures I took must have been from maybe, no, I was definitely in Concourse B. Yeah, I think, yeah, this must have been where I took the picture. I don't remember my gate off the top of my head. Where are we at? B 40, 50. Was like one of these. Go oh, auto. Here. Finding everybody. Free everybody. Actually have ground services. Box. Looks turn around. I did. Yeah, ground power is mine. AP. Oh. Fuel pump off. Oh. Oh, okay. Stuff actually happens in Denver Airport. That way, at least. Alright. So, what the hell why did I slam the hell out of that thing? Pause. Flight. Replay. Alright, so here we go, replay. That's why all this looks funky. I wonder if I ended up hitting the brakes and canceling the auto brake, and that's why I wasn't slowing down. Alright, there I go.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20,
Yeah,
10.
it just came up on me fast. Ugh. Holy God. Oh, this poor airplane. Oof. Yep, you'd be hurting. Yeah, I mean, I did a lot wrong there. Is the takeaway. My speed was way fast. So I was pretty fast.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Kind of everything happened too late. But let me see something. My spoilers. Okay, spoilers would go. But I must have not had auto brake. I must have accidentally disengaged the auto brake. Is what I think happened. 'Cause I was not slowing down at all. And then I got confused. I thought that was my turn off. I had a lot more time, so I kind of misjudged it. Yeah, so typically a lot wrong. But yeah, I think it was my auto brake mostly what happened there. It looks like it wasn't slowing down. It is off. You go away from. All right. Yeah, whenever you go too far away, it shuts the thing down. But okay. There we go. All right, so still lots to practice as usual. But that was a fun flight at least, even though, as usual, a very bad landing. I'm gonna have to go back. I had been landing a little bit better lately. Not that one. That was, well, at least that one got down. But severe hard. I think everything would be broken on this thing. Oh. Break time. Anyway, so still that was fun, and unfortunately I think I have to take down the whole setup, and I have to use this computer for some work stuff this week. But still, either way, that was fun. I had a good time on the flight, even though everything went really well until the landing. But, you know, consistent. Fly, yes. Land, no. That one, like I said, was a little worse. I should look up, I want to look at the airport. I'm sure it's a wide runway, but I don't know. Everything just started happening really, really quickly. Visually for me, I think I needed to look out. I was like staring at the landing zone, and I think got like so focused in that I just went at it when I should have picked my eyes up to the end of the runway a little bit sooner. The other thing that kind of whacked me out too is I didn't get my call outs when I thought I was. So I usually get like the 1,500 call out, and unless I'm crazy, I didn't get anything until my minimums. They'll usually wait for that 1,000 call out to dump my autopilot, but I don't remember hearing it. But I'll have to just go back, and that's why I have this, so I can go back and watch and look and see what happened. But yeah, so that was Southwest 4/16 November timed Indy to Denver that I did IRL recently, and as a passenger, of course. And if you watched the landing, you saw why as a passenger only. But I'll tell you what, X-Plane Denver looks nice. There's this might be handcrafted one to some extent, but all their standard airports look pretty nice. So yeah, welcome to the Rockies, the foot of them. So as usual, thank you for joining me today, and I will, that's the sports scoreboard. We can look at that sometime too, next time. But for now, I will leave you with music courtesy of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. and I will post some pictures on the YouTube channel and stream some stuff soon as well. So we'll get there. So in the meantime, I will wish you all a good week and weekend.
Cut out for this world.
And I will see you another time.
Sometimes I just feel like just a scumbag to everyone.
Bye.
Probably would have been better off, do my own thing. You're not a scumbag, man. I do like eating the scraps. You like chicken? I do like chicken. This one's about them chickens in the sky.
Bread crusts are my banquet, puddles are my wine. A revel in the present, each moment a lifetime.